Hi, my loves. So we're back. I don't know why it feels like it's been ages since I've done a since a live, even though I think I did one last week. I just feel like it's been forever. Okay, let's turn on the chat. Let's hope that works. You guys know how that goes. I'm standing on the creakiest spot in the floor, like I always do when I'm in this room, but that's okay. We'll do it. We'll get through it. We're good. How's everybody? Happy Friday. I have a question. Hi, Emanuela. Hi, Joanne. Lauren. Hi, Levy. Hi, Sarah. I'm glad you guys are hopping on. I always feel like a weirdo before you guys start hopping on, and I'm just like talking. But I just had dinner and I had chia seeds. I feel like I have cheese all in my teeth. Hi, beautiful. Hi, Brandy. Anna. Hey, girl. You still don't have a wrench. Crap. Okay, but I have my computer in front of me tonight, so you're gonna get a wrench. No worries, Lauren. Hi, Brooke. I thought about that last time, and my phone. Remember, I got off of the live because my phone was dead or dying. That's why you didn't get a wrench. Hi, Jolene. Hi, Raven. Today is an F day. My fiance got sentenced. Honey, I'm so sorry. It was very hard to sit there as they talked about him so badly. Oh, sweetheart, I can only imagine. You are strong, though. So how did it go? How did it turn out? Or you guys, obviously, it's always depressing, but how did the time go? Hey, Terry. Anna, I haven't seen you in so long, I feel like. Okay. How do you handle people asking if you're going to stay with Adam? My husband got sentenced 29 years, and all everyone keeps asking me is if I'm going to stay with him. It's so annoying. So the question I have tonight is kind of about that, but it's about him not trusting that she's going to stay. So we're going to talk about that, and then we could talk about afterwards everybody else judging. I kind of touched on that a little bit on my video that posted on Wednesday. The thumbnail says something like follow your heart or something like that. That video should help you with that too if you didn't watch it, because basically in there I was like, you have to follow your heart. You have to shut out what everybody else says. You have to thank them for their understanding if it's somebody that you love and that loves you and they're doing it out of love and not judgment or doing it out of gossipy type of feelings. And then you just have to put blinders on and stay with him. But I think I want to touch on that more in your question more in its own dedicated video, because I've gotten that a lot recently, and I got a lot of questions about kids. Like, do I want kids? What about having kids? So we could talk about all of those kind of together in its own video. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about this question and then I'll come to your guys' questions and I'll answer them. So this woman sent me the sweetest message about how much she loves my videos and how they're a blessing, and when she's having a bad day and she feels lost, she can look to my videos. I'm not gonna read that part, that's fine. And then she gives me a little bit of her background that I'm not gonna read either because I wanna keep it anonymous. But her question, she said, today at visit, and many visits prior to today, he asked me what he can do for me. And of course, I tell him, just be good in there and stay positive. Well, today he expressed to me that he feels like he's not good enough for me and he's inadequate because he feels like he can't do anything for me. I hear him say he feels like he's not enough because he's more than enough. I'm sorry, she said, it was very sad to hear him say he feels like he's not enough, but he's more than enough. I always have been a low maintenance girl and an introvert, so being alone doesn't bother me. If you have any tips you could give to make him feel like he can provide me. Wow, I can't read more than usual tonight. I'm sorry, guys. So she said, if you have any tips you could give to make him feel like he can provide for me and the girls, I would be more than grateful. Thank you so much. Okay, so this question is twofold, and I've got you, girl. So the first part about him feeling like he's not enough and he's inadequate, I think that all of our loved ones inside go through that, whether they're the most confident seeming, cocky, egotistical, narcissistic maybe type of person, or like this, they come out and they just say it. I think anybody who's inside deals with, at one point or another, feeling like that lonely prisoner, feeling like a lowlife, feeling like they're not good enough, feeling like they're dragging you through this, all of this guilt, they don't deserve you. And so, especially the longer time that they have, I think. But I think as far as that, when I went through that with Adam years ago, that was something that just time had to heal. I would reassure him. I would tell him. I would make sure, this is a huge one, I would make sure that my actions matched my words. So if I said I was going to do something, there was no compromise. It was non-negotiable. I did it. Because what you're trying to do is just establish that trust, establish that foundation of, I told you I'm going to do it, so I'm doing it, just like I told you I'm going to stay, so I'm staying. And then you just have to take it one day at a time and communicate. And so I think as far as him not feeling adequate enough, you kind of, and I don't think this is necessarily just for people inside. I think this is for men, relationships, and men in general. And we want to feel like this too, but we're very different. You have to learn it's a fine line, because you don't want to emasculate them, but you also have to feel, you have to, oh, Laura, hey, I'm so happy you're here on the live too. So you have to help them to feel like they are your knight in shining armor and they're wonderful. And you just have to keep kind of like stroking that ego in a way where you give them those positive affirmations, those words of affirmation back that really just allow him to understand how much this is so cheesy to say it like this, but how much he's your king, right? So, and that's any relationship, but I do it all the time. If Adam does something or says something really sweet, I'll just remind him, like, I'm so in awe of you. You are so smart, because his whole life, he was told he was stupid. He was told he wasn't smart. And he told himself that. I mean, I've had people from the street, his friends from years and years and years ago, like, that man is a genius. The things that he does, the legal work, the ways that he understands things, he literally is a genius. But he was always told for so long that he wasn't smart. He internalized that, and he really believed that he was not smart. And it took him until he was, I think he was 39 or 40 years old at that time. And he had a professor from the university down the street come in and actually they did an inside out class and a victim impact class together. And Adam picked it up all like that and then started to facilitate the class with him. And he told him how intelligent and how smart he was. And he said it wasn't until that very moment with somebody with a PhD and who did all of this stuff for so long told him that he was smart, that he actually believed it. And now what he does for himself is he writes that out. He has an affirmation for himself that he writes out. He keeps a little card in his pocket, and it says, I am smart, along with other goals of his, which he was just saying the other day, a few of them came true already, and there's a few that we're still working on. But I think I showed you guys that. He sent me one of them for my birthday one year. It was probably the best gift that he ever gave me, because it was so meaningful to him. It was a little laminated card, and it had his handwriting in it, and it said all of his goals. And living with me with 2 dogs on the beach and 2 children, although we're kind of like that window's shutting, right? But that's okay, was on there, and I've kept it in my wallet ever since. But anyway, kind of getting lost in a tangent. Point is, it's just time will heal that, and your positive reinforcements will heal that. Take every opportunity that you can to just let him know. You don't just say you are enough, which is good. Start there, but tell him all the reasons why he's enough. Tell him all of the reasons why you're in love with him. Tell him all of the reasons why he's worth it for you to stay and wait and do this bid with him. So now the part 2 of your question, if you guys have questions about that or comments back, just put them in the comments below. Oh my gosh, these are going. Hey Ray, oh hey Jess, I didn't see, for some reason it was stuck on Lauren's comment. I'm so sorry you guys. Hi Alicia, hey Kat, hey Vicky. Oh my gosh, Layla, I almost missed your $9.99. Thank you so much. LOL, this should really let you do even numbers. Sorry, it's not more. Love you, love you, love you. And your channel, you are doing amazing things. Or Layla, don't be sorry that it's not more. I am so grateful for everything. That was so sweet. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's go. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why the comments got stuck, but this is me. We know why. Pebcac. Remember my old video? Okay. My loved one asked me to make a list of things he could do to make things up to me. So I'm making a list of things I would. Oh, that's so sweet that you'd like to do with him when he gets home. Lauren and Eric have a really cute bucket list. I love their bucket list. Reassurance will make a difference. I totally agree. First live in the middle of the night here in Switzerland. Hi, love. But I have the day off tomorrow so I can watch. Oh, you're so cute. Sarah! You guys, Sarah and I are going to a concert. Should I tell them, Sarah, what concert we're going to next weekend? Or should we make it a surprise? Maybe we'll make it a surprise. Oh, Jess, I love you. Thank you. Free Adam. Okay, so let's go to part 2 of this question. I'm all over the map. Go figure. She wants to know how, about the children. So let me just make sure I get the question right. I've always been a low maintenance girl. Being alone doesn't bother me. If you have any tips, give me. I feel like he could provide for me and the girls. Okay, that is... Oh, I told you guys already? Darn it. Okay, well... I showed my age on that one. I did. I told you on last week's live. That's right. Well, that's who I'm going with Sarah that just commented. I'm so excited. So the way that he can provide for you guys doesn't necessarily have to be financially, because of course that's ripped away from them, right? Their hands are tied. They can't provide for you financially right now. But you can include him in things in the girl's life and in your life and let him feel like he's still the man of the family, or part of the family at least. You can include him on decisions. You can send him stuff, kind of like I said in that video where I said, oh, I will come to Chicago. Institutionalization and how you can send them stuff to decide. You know, I had a girlfriend who, when she bought her house and she was remodeling and redecorating it, she would send him pictures of things in catalogs and circle the things that she liked. They would make those decisions together. So he does not have to be X'd out of every decision just because he's not physically there. Because if you think about it, especially with a home, that's where they're coming home too. It's going to be their home as well. You could also do things, I think I said this on a live recently, you can have him call at certain times when he possibly can. There's always going to be a caveat to that because things happen. But let's say it's your daughter's birthday and you plan what time you're going to give her the cake. Let's say 7 o'clock. Have him call at 7 o'clock so you can put the phone on speaker and he can sing happy birthday. Let's say it's Thanksgiving and your tradition always was daddy says grace on Thanksgiving, the girl's daddy. Lauren knows what I'm saying. So you can have him call, let's say 5 o'clock, and put the phone on speaker so he could say grace. And then, so you're not breaking the tradition. On Christmas, you can have him call early in the morning when the kids are opening up presents. On our Patreon page, we have for everybody, you don't even have to be a Patreon member. I think that's right. Don't quote me, because if you know, comment. But we have every month we post little coloring pages that you can download and print. They're obviously prison themed, prison wife, prison child themed. You can print them out, they can color them, and they can send them to daddy. I know with the new mail rules, it's a little bit funky, but you can have them color them. You could take a picture of that, send them in the picture, so this way they can get that coloring page in color. You could also have them do it in black ink, which is, you know, it is what it is now with the mail rules. We just have to kind of mold our ways around them. But my thing, what I think the most that would help you specifically with this is to just really include him in a lot of your big decisions. Do you have to include him in everything? I think it depends on how much contact you have with him. With Adam, we have constant communication within a 2-hour time limit, 4 hours really, because it takes him 2 hours to get my message, and then it takes me 2 hours to get his reply if he checks it as soon as it comes through. But it's basically like big decisions you're not going to make overnight. So I don't include him in those quick overnight decisions, but I include him in as much as I possibly can. And you guys, this is so doable. It is so doable, a relationship and nurturing and having them feel included. You just have to get really creative. Just like they're creative in there because so much stuff is ripped away from them, we get really creative with our relationships out here. And that's what these videos are here for. I've been really trying to rack my brain for things that I've done so much and like they're second nature to me throughout all of this time, so I can make videos and more videos for you about that so you can learn. Okay, let's answer some questions. I wrote a big paragraph and then it got deleted. Oh no, he got 85 of 24 due to him being nervous, going to trial and losing. But if he loses, he would get 30 to life. We're going to pursue an appeal. Perfect, girl. You just fight for those appeals and you never give up hope. That must help him feel much more connected to life on the outside, helping with decisions and stuff. Yes. Okay. So that is such, oh, my hand just got caught in like my 1980s shirt. Okay. That is such a great point, Laura. So the fact that you do include them in decisions helps him feel, or him or her, I should say, feel like they're being included in outside life. So I think I've told this story before, but I'm going to tell it again. When Adam and I first got in touch, it was really difficult for him. And he told me, because he was living in a penitentiary, very high security, very high alert all the time. He was very, how do I say this? He was like a very high up person as far as making decisions while he was there, if that helps everybody understand what I'm trying to say. And he kind of had to shut off the outside world because he had to learn how to live within that society, especially because loss of appeal, going on the third loss of appeal, there are no more in the feds, and he has to really learn how to like live inside of there. This is before I got back. So when I came back, he told me, he goes, it is so hard for me to teeter both these worlds, because I had both feet inside, blinders on. That's what most people do. A lot of people do, especially if you have a lot of time, because it's so difficult to have one foot outside and one foot inside. And he even told me, he said, I had to take that foot out of the outside world and bring it inside. He said, because people that live in the street and just can't wait to get back and hit the street, he said it's not positive for them, because all they're trying to do is get this time over with so they can get back to their old life. And that is not healthy for them, because what happens when you go right back to your old life? You go back to the street, you go back to old associates, you go back to your old ways, and usually you recidivize. So he said, I have to just like blinders on it, right? Two totally separate things when they're living the good old days and missing the good old days and ready to go back to the old life, versus having a nurturing, loving family and woman that they're ready to change for, rehabilitate themselves, and go back to. So that was what he told me. He said, it is so hard for me to now put this foot back in the outside world so I can imagine a life with you in the future and we could start working towards that. It is so hard, but it is a sacrifice that I am so willing to do because you and us were so worth it. So why did I start saying that? Oh, because when you give them those decisions, when you send them those catalogs, or you talk to them and you tell them, hey, how can you help me decide this? Let's figure it out. What you're doing is allowing them to keep that grasp on the outside world and avoid some of, not all of, because it's inevitable, but some of that PTSD that comes along with being inside. And the more blinders and the more both feet they have inside that inside world, the more difficult it's going to be to transition out, because the PTSD and the institutionalization will just be worse. So I just went into a long tangent. Let's keep talking. Any tips Adam has told you on safety on the top tier of the prison? I'm so scared for him. Today some guy told me he better hope 5 guys don't corner him and make him his blank. Okay, so Alicia, is he brand new there? And by top tier, do you mean like level 6? Is that what you mean? Do you mean like the high levels, or do you literally mean the top tier, like, you know, something can happen where they fall down? Just want to make sure I understand your question. You're amazing and so inspirational. Thanks, Ron. I'm so happy you caught a live. Oh, Lauren asked the same question. We're like this. He's going to be level 5. There we go. Okay. So that is, hi, Panda Mom. That is our version of like a penitentiary. So in the feds, they don't have those levels where they work themselves down as far as level 1, level 2, level 6, and they're on different floors. Where we are, they're literally in different buildings. They're in different facilities, and the security levels are different at each one. And the privileges are different at each one. Although the Adam's in a medium right now and they're trying to run it like a pen, and that's like a pain in the butt, but that's something we'll talk about a different time. So my tip for you is, first and foremost, I know this is hard, sweetheart. I know this is hard. Try not to get involved in his politics on the inside, okay? There are gonna be things that happen in there that you just don't wanna know. You're not going to be able to sleep at night. You're not going to be able to do anything to fix it. You're not going to be able to control it. So he just needs to make a good group of friends, get in with a good group of guys. She needs to get in with a good group of girls, keep their friends tight, stay out of trouble, be on alert, and have their friends on the inside help them with what they need to do and how they need to be on guard all the time, because those are things I can't tell you. I've never been on the inside, nor do I really want to know, because honestly will not be able to lay our heads on the pillow and sleep at night if we know these things. But there are people in there, they called them old heads. That's the prison slang for it, for people that have been there for a really long time and are willing to kind of help guide you and train you and keep you on the right path and out of trouble. So he just needs to get in with some good guys. And then personally, I would stay out of it. I would stay out of it because there's nothing you can do. Sadly, I hope that's not coming out harsh. I do not mean that in any way harsh. I mean that with love, and I mean that because I had to learn the hard way. I had so many sleepless nights because there's things that Adam would never tell me, but I have a whole bunch of friends that I made who go to visit with me, right? So they would tell me these things throughout the years, you know, and in a good way. Like I had one friend one time, I just literally couple hours ago filmed a video about this that's going to post next week, but when Adam went into the hole, and one of my friends told me, and she told me in a very jarring way, and it was something completely different than what had happened because she got caught up, here's another prison terminology, in inmate.com, and there was a lot of rumors because, oh, the big bad lifers in the hole, and I'll save the story for later, but that's the point. The point is things get blown up, things get blown out of proportion, and there's nothing you can do to fix or control it except for just stay positive, stay hopeful, and just make sure he gets in with good people, takes care of himself, stays out of other people's business, the typical rules that he'll learn while he's in there. Okay, I totally understand. I just want him to be able to come home at the end of his 29 years. Absolutely. And sweetheart, since he has so long, he will get in with a good group of people, and as long as he stays out of trouble, he will. Serenity to accept the things you can't change, courage to change the things you can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. Great point to put that quote in. Okay, so, oh, Kristen, I'm glad you caught alive too. My loved one said he was focused on his life inside. When he met me, he needed to reevaluate everything and learn how to really deal with someone on the outside. Amberly, yes, exact same scenario here. Jen, I've been to prison before, and everything Rose said is probably the best thing your men can do. I'm sorry you're going through this. You'll be okay. Jen, thank you so much for validating that. I appreciate you. Okay, what else do we have, guys? I think what happened last week was, or the week before, one of my recent lives, I keep all of these questions that I want to respond to on a video. And just so you know, if you send me a question, I will never respond on a video unless I ask you. So I'll respond and I'll say, I think this is a question that so many people can learn from. If I keep it anonymous, can I answer on a video? And when the person confirms that they say yes, I've never had anybody say no. When they say yes, I keep them in a file and then I'll read them. So I think I read this one before I got on my other live. So I kind of sort of answered it a little bit there, and I debated answering it again here, but I really wanted to get into detail and depth of this one. But does anybody have anything else before we go? Do you guys remember this shirt? Keep your head up high, beautiful. I was wearing this shirt in my, Lauren, what's the video you love? What's the video you love that I always, I made a second Suck It Up Buttercup video. And I wore this shirt in the intro, and then I wore my Suck It Up Buttercup shirt in that video, I think. I don't know. I'm confused. What else is new? Hi, Christina. Still a work in progress. Aren't we all? Need to figure out how to deal with the outside. Yeah, I think Eric is still learning too, because he's been 1 foot or 2 feet on the inside for so long. Okay. Does anybody have good Father's Day plans? I have to go to a graduation party for my neighbor. I cannot believe he is graduating college because I was personally away at college when he was born. Blech, I'm so old. He still hasn't had a team meeting. Oh, that's obnoxious. Hi, Amanda. Adam literally just had his team meeting, and it was like, what are they gonna say? There was nothing. Going to visit with your daughter, that's amazing. Have you heard it take this long? Yes, I have. They run them, they have them when they want to have them, they skip them when they want to have them. Usually, I believe, don't they have them every 18 months? Isn't team every 18 months, or is it every year? I don't remember. I want to say it's 18 months because they can't move for 18 months. Mine had a team meeting and he's transferring. Oh, Amberly, is that a good thing? Lauren, it's 6 months? I don't believe Adam has had one in 6 months. I believe that this one that he just recently had, can they just write no, I don't want to go? I know that sounds crazy, but can they just like write them off, or do they have to go? Unless they have something going on like requesting a transfer. Cynthia, you are a doll. Thank you so much for the $2. I really, really, really appreciate it. No idea supposed to have them when they enter. No, they have to go. Thanks, Angie. Not sure yet. I'm hoping he's been there for 7 years. Wait, he's been there for 7 years and he's never had one? Whoa. My new boyfriend is being sentenced in September for something he did 3 years before we met. He took a plea for 1 year. What should I do to make sure our relationship stays strong? First of all, first and foremost, above anything else, I am so happy you're here now, because this community, support, having people to rely on and help and pull you up when you're feeling down will help you so much. The number one thing that I recommend to you to make your relationship stay strong is communication, especially in the beginning. The first year is going to suck. It's going to suck. There's no other way to say it. I'm sorry. But the fact that you're here early is going to help you with so much, because there's so many people that have done all of those firsts and then some that can help you. But you have to tell him, you have to talk through everything with him, you have to include him, like we were saying earlier, in those decisions. And then just one day at a time, 24 hours at a time. When things get bad, you get 24 hours to put your head down, to lay under the covers, to eat your bonbons, to do whatever you want to do, feel sorry for yourself. Then you got to get up and you got to keep moving, girl. You got to go through the motions of life. It's not going to lift. It's not going to always feel better. But that's how you avoid going deeper and deeper and deeper into a depression, because the deeper you go, the more difficult it's going to be to pull yourself out of it. So those are really my big, major, real quick, like nutshell, how you can survive and get through it. But go back through my videos, watch my old videos. I mean, I've had some about everything. If you have questions, you can email me, strongprisonloves@gmail.com. Make sure you check us out on Facebook. It's the private page is Invisible Shackles, where you could post. That'll help you so much. Heather, you're here. You're telling it like it is. Thank you, sweetheart. You are so short, aren't you? What do you have, a month left? You're July, right? I'm so excited for you and P. Understand, Kristen, my dad passed away when I was 15. Oh, fathers. Oh, sweetie. I love that you keep it real, because it makes things better knowing what to expect. Okay, thank you. Bro, literally saved my sanity. You're the sweetest. I don't know why I keep missing comments. They're like not scrolling, so I have to manually scroll them. So true. I had a breakdown last week. Oh, honey, breakdowns are so fine. I had somebody comment on one of my videos, the one that posted today, and she said, something about how she's not strong and she has breakdowns. And I said, listen, everybody listen to me. You don't judge yourself for having breakdowns. Breakdowns are normal. They're part of life. People who aren't involved, I keep getting my hands caught in my 80s shirt. Maybe that's why I shouldn't wear 80 shirts. Okay, so let's get back to serious. Breakdowns are normal. They're part of life, right? You had breakdowns before you even got involved in this. That's part of life. You don't judge yourself for breaking down. You don't judge yourself for your feelings. I have breakdowns all the time. You let them happen. You feel those feelings. You let them come up. You explore those feelings. You get to the root of them. And then when you're having more good days than bad days, that's how you know you're surviving. That's how you know you're winning. If every day is a bad day for 5 years, then you really have to reevaluate. Not even 5 years, I'm being exaggerating about that. If every day is a bad day for months, then you know that it's time to reevaluate. Do I want to do this? Is this meant for me? Is this relationship serving my highest purpose and my highest needs anymore? Or is it time for me to let go? That sucks and it's scary, but it's just part of it. You can't have bad days every day for the rest of your life because you're waiting for the sun to come out in 10 years. That's not fair to you. That's not fair to your children. That's not fair to your family. I've never been where you are, but I was on the other side with men doing time. It's a terrible time for them and their families. The fact that you can survive and support him makes you so strong. Oh, you're so sweet, Francesca. That is one of my favorite names, by the way. Don't hide it from my old man. Joan is my biggest supporter. Oh, that's so sweet, Courtney. I feel like I have something in my teeth. I'm sorry. Thanks, guys, for telling me. Thanks for telling me I have chia seeds in my teeth. I love you guys. I thought we were besties. We all have breakdowns. It's natural. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to ask me any more questions, and then I think I'm going to go. Sorry, I didn't realize I was talking with chia seeds in my teeth. You still love me? We're still friends. I'll forgive you guys for not telling me. This is my husband's first Father's Day since his son's death, Heather. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, girl, how's he handling it? It's also very important what we look for positive things. If we all focus on the negative, it's all we will see. Oh my gosh, Melinda, that is amazing. Amazing. So, I look in your eyes when you talk, I don't even notice. That was such like a politician answer. That was beautiful. I love it. So, Melinda's right. Okay, let's talk about shiny red cars for a minute, okay? Have you ever heard of the shiny red sports car, whatever we're going to call it, like, what's it called, like phenomenon? You go to the car dealership and you want a shiny red sports car. So you save up all your pennies and you buy this beautiful, one of a kind, you think, shiny red sports car. And you take your shiny red sports car on the road, and all of a sudden you're driving down the highway like you are the baddest person in the world because you're the only one that has this badass car. And you look around and all of a sudden you start noticing every other freaking car is a Me Too car, as my sister calls them, because I have this shiny red sports car and everybody else goes, me too. It's called the shiny red sports car phenomenon because your brain starts noticing things that you put in your realm, right? I don't know how another word to say. That sounds silly, but so it's just human psychology. Psychology 101, right? What you focus on, you start noticing. You never noticed the other red sports cars on the road because you didn't even really pay attention. But once you got one, then that's what you started to see. So your brain itself is wired to ask questions and seek out answers. And that is what your brain does all day long. Ask, answer, ask, answer, ask, find an answer. Question, look, there's the answer. That's what our brains do. That's the human brain. That's how it works. So what Melinda's saying, and I can get behind a quadrillion%, is we have to put in our brains the positive stuff. So I could sit here and say, boo-hoo, woe is me. My husband has 213 years. The system took him away from me. It's unfair. I am miserable. Screw everybody. Screw the world. I'm never going to get out of bed. I'm not going to do anything. Or I could say, okay, how am I going to make the best of this? I'm going to search online and see who's out there. I can't really find anybody out there. I'm going to build a community. I'm going to use my experience to help as many people as I possibly can avoid all of the pain and all of the hardships that I went through when I was doing it by myself. So Amberly, oh my God, thank you for the $5. I love the sisterhood and the family. And Amberly, I love you too. And so do we all. So that the point is, you just have to grasp for the positive. You have to fight every single day to find that silver lining. And I'm telling you right now, that first year, it's going to be the worst and it's going to be the hardest. And everything you see is going to be depression. Every couple you see walking down the street holding hands, you're going to want to throw rocks at them. But the more you do this and the more that you grasp and the more that you just focus on the positives, you see that couple and you're like, all right, I have 5 more days until I can go to visit and see my loved one and hold his hand. Or they might have a fight in 5 minutes. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to be able to build the communication and the trust between us. You just have to start reframing things and seeing the positive, and then it's become easier and second nature and easier. I wasn't always like this. Definitely never noticed how corrupt the system is until you work. Oh, Francesca, yes, or involved in it. I lost hope in humanity, but then I started working for a mental health system and I gained hope. I'm so glad, because never give up hope. Seeing you powerless, just like music to me. Perception is reality. If we see positivity, that's what we will be. Yes, Laura. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to go on that positive note. Your channel is focused on helping others. That means a lot. It touches everyone. Thank you, Ron. I love your comments, Ron. So you guys have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your visits. Stay safe. Happy Father's Day to all my fathers on here right now, but also happy Father's Day to all of your loved ones, to all the fathers on the inside. I never go to visit on Father's Day weekend because I always want to be respectful of those little babies that need to go in and see their daddies, and I'm not going to take up a seat that day, ever. Never have, never will, mark my word. So you guys enjoy them, take your babies there, let them, or I guess take their babies there too, but let them spend time with daddy. I love you guys. I will see you in the next one. Oh, and by the way, Heather, no, totally, girl, you have a pass. He does need you. Monday, we're posting the video about the girl who took off her pants to get through the metal detector at Visit. It's such a fun video. And it's not me calling anybody out. It's not a negative video. It's a positive video. It's just a funny story. So look out for that. Kristen, thank you so much for the 99 cents. Love you so much. I will talk to all of you guys so soon. Keep staying strong. Keep loving strong. Keep supporting one another through this journey because you're one day closer to it all being over. Lots of love from my heart to yours. I will see you, beautiful ladies and gentlemen, in the next one. Laura can't wait for Monday. I think most of us can't. Bye, guys.